Good afternoon to everyone. Yesterday, we have completed the conditional control structures or one-way selective control structures. We have completed all these. And today, I'd like to concentrate on iterative control structures. Iterative control structures play a vital role in any programming language. As such, in PL/SQL also. As such, in PL/SQL also is playing a vital role. So we do have three different types of iterative control structures. One is the loop and end loop. So loop and end loop is one of the iterative control structures which is used in PL/SQL and which is an infinite loop actually. So it is always infinite loop and it never terminates because there is no exit condition for loop and end loop. So therefore, to make the loop and end loop from infinite to finite, so it could be includes either of two different types of things. One is exit when, and second one is one-way selection. Either of these two, you can include any one of these two. So both will be taking same kind of operations here. Okay. So, but one thing you must remember here, while executing this particular loop, the condition what we are supposed to frame with exit when or the one-way selection, that is a simple if, always the condition must be false. If condition will be considered as true, obviously for the first attempt itself, your loop will be gets exited. It will be goes to execute the next statement of the loop. But that is the problem. So whatever the condition you have framed here, that condition must be always written. So return false for many times. For many times it must be written false. After some number of iterations based on your problem, after some number of iterations, it must be written true. Okay, unless otherwise, for the first attempt, it will be written true. Obviously, your loop could not be executed in even single iteration here. Okay, so that is the problem with loop and end loop. Of course, loop and end loop can be used while we are doing some kind of manipulations with cursors. Okay, let us see if things will be permitted us. We'll go ahead and discuss about cursors today also. So next loop will be for loop, while loop, while, let me take it as while, so condition, normally when condition will be get started, immediately in the next line, loop and the set of statements, whatever the set of statements you are expected to execute, yes, you can execute them. And then update loop controller. Okay, let me consider here loop controller equal to value. LC is equal to value. So I have to take the value. Update loop controller, and finally end loop. So loop and end loop can be used the blocking statements of while. So in C normally we would like to write some while some condition 1 followed by open brace, and you can execute whatever the statements you are expected to execute, you can execute here. So here blocking statements will be open and closed braces. Here open and closed braces will be blocking statements. So that will be considered as a single block. Similarly here loop and end loop can be used as a blocking statements for while here. Here, loop and end loop is a separate loop, which is infinite loop. So to make infinite to finite, you have to use your own constructs such as exit when or one-way selection. Either of these two you can use and you can execute it. But here, loop and end loop for this while while statements that could be considered as so what you call blocking statements. Okay, and let us take one more kind of a thing here. Then we will go ahead and discuss something which is pretty much easy. So look at this for. So first statement will be seen in such a way. So for loop controller in. So here we have one more word reverse. In reverse, lower bound value to value double dot upper bound, not UP, upper bound. Then loop and end loop is common. Loop followed by you have to write your own set of statements. Then end loop in this way. So this for loop is considered in the PL SQL. The for loop is considered. So it could be always increase by 1. It is not supposed to increase by 5 or 10 or 20, something like that. Okay, it is always trying to increase 1 by 1. So if loop controller will be equal to 1 and lower bound will be 1 to some 10, for example. So lower bound will be initially lower bound will be allocated to loop controller, and then each end loop will be increases 1 LC loop controller plus 1. And also checks that whether it is reaches to upper bound or not. So now you could also consider in reverse will be taken. When reverse will be included, upper bound will be allocated to loop controller, and it will be always decreased by 1. So it is always minus 1 can be gets operated. Then whether it is reaches to lower bound or not, it is going to check like that. So in reverse will be always. So take the reverse operation in lower bound, upper bound will always taken. So what you call increment kind of operation. So let us produce some kind of what you call series. Then you could understand number problems. We shall produce. Then you can understand. MR class. Okay, let us see. Yeah, it is being connected. Then set lines 300, set pages 50. Okay. Now ed series dot py. Sorry, not py. Actually, it is not Python. Actually, SQL dot SQL. So look at this. I'd like to declare. Let me consider n as number. I'd like to produce one to n numbers. N as number of some 2 will be equal to ampersand n. Yes, you can take input here itself. I is number of again 2, so it will be equal to 1. Let me initialize the value during the so during its declaration. Then begin. So what we are supposed to do here is while, let us check that while I less than or equal to n loop. So what we are trying to specify here, dbms so underscore output dot put underscore line of I. Whatever the value of I, you have to produce it. Okay, then I will be gets incremented. I is equal to I plus 1. So it must be incremented. END LOOP end loop, then end of the program. That's all. There ends the matter. You can include. I mean, you can so write your program in such a way. Okay. So let me save this one. And execute this one here right now. Yeah, execute. So before going to take, I'd like to execute one statement. Set server output on. Set server output on. Then you have to execute SERES series. So enter value for n. So look at this. It could be produced 1 to n numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So we know how the while loop is being executed right from the previous courses, that is C, C++, and Python. How this the while loop can be gets executed, we know very well. So then the same program will be run by using what is that for loop. How it could be run by using for loop here. Let us take the same kind of issue here. So here there is no need to take a declaration is not required for loop here. An installation is not required for I in 1 to n. So here 2 will be double dot. 2 will be double dot. And then so loop, and then whatever the statement you are trying to execute. Simple statement can be get taken into consideration. Save this one. So try to apply n value is 10, also taken same kind of output. If you include something like this, instead of doing the same business with in reverse, n will be assigned to I, and every end loop will be causes to reduce I by 1. That is I equal to I minus 1. Okay, let us have a look here. So at the rate series, n value is 10. Now the values are going to be produced in reverse order. Why I have shown all these issues here in the sense, I'd like to, so when we have to fetch the data from so cursor, then all these loops are supposed to be used. Okay, in this way you can perform. Let me so do some kind of operation, one more program for you. So ed prime number. Let us do it here. Declare n as a number of some 3. So let me take the input here itself, ampersand of n. So I number of again 3. So no need to take anything here. And what is that? Divisors number of 2. So which will be assigned to 0 here in the initial stage, which will be assigned to 0. Okay. Then what we are supposed to do here is begin. Like to start our work with for loop. Let me take the for loop at this particular point. So for I in 1 to n loop. And what shall we have to do? We have to check that whether the divisors are number of divisors are more than 2 or exactly equal to 2. That is our actual agenda to be checked for the prime number here. So therefore, if MOD, there is no modulus operator, direct modulus operator is not there here. So we have MOD, the function MOD is there. So you have to operate the modulus function here. MOD of n comma I will be equal to 0. Then what we have to do? Divisor is equal to divisor plus 1. Divisors must be increased. Since we have written this one in for loop, so there is no updation of LC. LC will be updated when end loop will be gets executed. Then obviously it could be incremented. So therefore END LOOP, end loop is another. Then you have to check that if number of divisors will be equal to exactly 2, then dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So given number, what is that number? N. So is a prime. N is a prime. Okay. Otherwise, else. So whatever the statement you have taken here, n is not prime. N is not prime. After this, and if. So structure will be gets changed. That is what you have to understand here. That's all. Everything is same. So logic and everything is same, but the structure will be gets changed. That's what you need to understand. Okay. In this way, you can execute this one. Let us execute this one for a while. So here at the rate prime, let me take some 11. What is this? I equal to NUM BER. Encountered there must be, yeah, semicolon was missed. Here semicolon was missed. So that is the problem. Semicolon was missed. So that is the problem. Sorry for that. Okay, let me close this one for a while. File exit and save before exit here. At the rate PRIME. So yes, it is 11. So 11 is a prime. Procedure is successfully completed. Then 11 is a prime. Okay. In this way, you can calculate number kind of functions. Number kind of operations will be done in such a way. Okay. In such a way, you can perform. Then things will be get server, then I shall move to. So all these iterative control structures are supposed to be used to perform some kind of operation with cursors or triggers. Okay, let us go ahead, because I do understand that you people have some kind of idea. You people have a clear idea regarding to all these structures in our previous courses, something like C, C++, or Java or Python. So something like everything is gets idea. You have some idea. So therefore, no need to take full-length explanation, depth explanation for this. Okay, so much explanation is not required for this. So only one thing you have to remember: for will be always produces either ascending order kind of data or descending order kind of data. That's all. So that is the only thing you have to remember. Okay. Then we'd like to go ahead with cursors, because cursors are playing a vital role in PLSQL programming. So cursors must be known to you. So then only you could able to say PLSQL is very good enough to learn. So therefore, I'd like to specify this one here, cursors. So there are 4 different types of operations which could be done when cursors are supposed to be discussed here. So let me give the definition for cursors first. So cursor is a private working area. Okay, private working area or private buffer used to transfer the data from a table and perform some operations. Whatever the perform are required operations. Perform are on a table and implement the required business logic. Whatever the business logic you have given, so that logic is going to be applied. Okay. And as and when cursor will be gets operated by you, there are 4 different types of operations must be done. 4 రకాల ఆపరేషన్స్ ఇక్కడ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడైనా సరే కర్సర్ గురించి మాట్లాడినట్లయితే 4 different types of operations could be done here. Number 1 operation will be, first operation could be, so first of all, declare the cursor. Cursor first to declare చేయాలి. Then open the cursor. So almost all, this cursor will be almost all equivalent operations of files, what we have discussed in C, C++ or Python. Files సంబంధించి C, C++, Python లో ఏవైతే డిస్కస్ చేశారో సేమ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అలానే ఉంటుంది. ఫైల్ ఫస్ట్ డిక్లేర్ చేయాలి, ఆ తర్వాత ఓపెన్ చేయాలి, ఆ తర్వాత రీడ్ రైట్ ఆపరేషన్స్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఆ తర్వాత ఆపరేషన్స్ అయిన తర్వాత క్లోజ్ చేసుకోవాలి. సేమ్. ఓకే. సో నెంబర్ 3. సో థర్డ్ ఆపరేషన్ విల్ బి, సో fetch the data from the cursor. So cursor నుంచి డేటాను తీసుకొచ్చుకోవాలి. తీసుకొచ్చుకున్న తర్వాత number 4, you have to perform your operation. So ఇది perform or implement whatever it may be. So implement the required business logic. Whatever the operation. Fourth is not related to cursor actually. That is actually which is being done by the general programming. Then followed by finally, so close the cursor. Close the cursor. So 4 operations. So implement business logic is not under our purview. Because for every problem, the business logic will be get changed. So if you want to calculate some total marks, the business logic, whatever the logic you have to implement is separate. And attendance details will be done by you. So that is the logic of attendance details will be some other way, something like that. So business logic will be so continuously changed. So however, declare the cursor and followed by you have to open the cursor, then followed by what is that, fetch data from the cursor, and followed by close the cursor. In between fetching and closing, you have to perform your own operation. Whatever the operation you are supposed to done, yes, you can perform those operations. Then, how could you declare a particular cursor? What is the command which is used to declare a cursor? A cursor can be declared with a keyword cursor. Cursor. So cursor name, whatever the name, you can declare with your own name. There's no problem at all. Is subquery. The subquery will be always used to get the data or retrieve the data from table, one particular table. When you have to use this particular command, as and when you have to use this particular command, what will be happen? Okay, when you have to use this particular command, obviously this particular private work area, how that private work area could be behaves for you here in the sense. So cursor will be immediately creates some buffer in random access memory, something like that. Some buffer will be gets created. Okay, it is a private work area, and in the database management system, let me say, so this is the database which we have with us. The databases will be generally shown something like this, and you have some particular table somewhere else within this particular database. You have some particular table, and as and when you have to create your cursor something like this. So cursor name, so something like this. Probably it is unable to visible to you. It is not able to visible to you, so that let me make somewhat bigger. So you have to use this particular command cur name, cursor name. Okay, name. So is subquery is SQ. Let me write SQ. So this SQ, whatever the subquery you have written here, this particular subquery will be always causes to return on one particular table. For example, this is the table A. Table A does have approximately some 1,000 rows are there. For example, 1,000 rows are there. Based on this particular subquery, 1,000 rows will be gets participated. For example, okay, let me create my cursor something like this. Let me create my cursor something like this. CURSOR cursor CC1. Let me put my own name. Is select everything from EMP. How many rows are there in EMP? 14 rows are there. As far as the demo table, which is being considered EMP, we have 14 rows. These 14 rows, whatever the result which will be given by this particular command individually, so that data will be transferred from here to, let me say, from this particular table to this private work area. Okay, first row, second row, third row, fourth row, and so on, n number of rows. Okay, and so on, n number of rows. It could be transferred. Now, this cursor, this is a cursor actually. This is a cursor. Now, this cursor will be behaves like as a file. It is behaves like as a file. What exactly we are trying to perform on file? So So from this particular cursor, you have to read initially. Soon you have to read the data. I mean, place the data into the cursor. The cursor pointer will be set to first row. Okay. Once you have to fetch first row, then it will be moved to the second row. Fetch, one more fetch will be done. It will be moved to third row. One more fetch will be done, fourth row, and so on. So number of rows will be, for example, n rows will be there. Then you have to perform n fetches. Okay. So n fetch operations will be fetch in the sense, simply speaking, read operation. So read operation from the cursor. Okay. You have to perform this particular operation. So continuously until end of the particular cursor. Okay. So this will be done. This will be done continuously. Fetch operation will be done continuously while the cursor is being running with so databases here. Okay. So that is what been happening when we have to create a particular cursor here. So then, how could you open the so cursor? How could you open it? So for opening of a particular cursor, you have to use open cursor name. Whatever the cursor name you have to specify. Yes, you can specify that particular cursor name. Okay. Obviously, the cursor will be gets open. It's been created, and it is when it is been created, it is not supposed to be so open for you. I mean, not supposed to give any so facility to access the data from cursor. Create చేసిన వెంటనే క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత డేటా కూడా దాంట్లో ప్లేస్ చేస్తున్నాం. డేటా కూడా ఫుల్ ఆఫ్ కంటైనర్ ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. అయినప్పటికీ మీకు దాంట్లో డేటా రీడ్ చేయడానికి ఎప్పుడు కూడాను ఛాన్స్ ఇవ్వదు. ఎప్పుడు ఛాన్స్ ఇస్తుంది? when you have to use this particular statement. This statement వాడినట్లయితే obviously it could be gives you some facility to what you call to get the data from particular cursor here. Then followed by, so how could you fetch the data? Okay, how could you fetch the data here? So you could fetch the data by using a particular command. The command name is fetch. Okay, the command name is fetch command. So let us take this particular thing here right now. The third command is fetch. Okay. Fetch, F-E-T-C-H, followed by cursor name into. So data ni okkada pick up chestu ekkada place cheyali danni ekkada place cheyali. So there are two different types of situations where exactly you have to place the data. Number one, which is individual into. First one is individual variables, or ఇది కావచ్చు, లేకపోతే సో రో టైప్ అంటే స్ట్రక్చర్ లాగా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవడం. రో టైప్ ఈ రెండిట్లో ఏదైనా పర్వాలేదు, చెప్తాను. వీటికి సంబంధించి కూడా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వస్తుంది. సో విల్ లుక్ ఇన్ టు దట్ పర్టికులర్ మ్యాటర్. ఓకే, విల్ లుక్ ఇన్ టు దట్ పర్టికులర్ మ్యాటర్. Okay, then. So what is the next point to be considered here? How to close the fifth one. So business logic, implementation of business logic is at our own risk. So based on the specific operation what we are supposed to done, so that could be done here. Then how could you close? So similarly, CLOSE cursor. Whatever the cursor you have taken, so just to close it. Okay, in this way you can close that particular thing. Then while fetching the data, so look at this particular diagram. So here huge amount of data is there. For example, so we have select from EMP. EMP does have 14 number of rows. So 14 rows will be dumped to the cursor, this private work area. ఈ ప్రైవేట్ వర్క్ ఏరియాలోకి 14 rows డంప్ అవుతాయి. అంటే ఎన్ని rows ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇప్పుడు 14 rows ఉన్నాయి. అంటే 14 సార్లు 14 fetches are supposed to be operated by you. 14 fetches ఆపరేట్ చేస్తాం. ప్రతి ఫెచ్ కూడాను ఒక్కొక్కరు పికప్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. 15th ఫెచ్ ఏం జరుగుతుంది? డేటా లేదుగా, ఇంకా డేటా లేదు కదా. సో ఇట్ కుడ్ నాట్ పికప్ ఎనీథింగ్. సో therefore your data gets over. Then how could you identify that? How could you identify that? So you could identify by using one particular cursor's variable. That variable is percentile FOUND or మీరు ఎట్లయినా వాడుకోవచ్చు ఇది FOUND ఆర్ పర్సంటైల్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్. ఏం లేదండి, మీరు అప్లై చేసే విధానం ప్రకారం పర్సంటైల్ ఫౌండ్ will be returns true if data will be. How this could be gets operated? So CUR cursor underscore name percentile found. Okay, percentile found in the sense if data really one particular data will be taken from this particular thing, so from this particular cursor, then it could be returned true. రియల్ గా ఒక పర్టికులర్ డేటా ఐటమ్ ని ఆ డేటా రోని తీసుకొచ్చినట్టయితే అది మనకి ట్రూ రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. అదే ఒకవేళ ఈ కర్సర్ నేమ్ పర్సంటైల్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ అని అప్లై చేశారనుకోండి, నాట్ ఫౌండ్ అని చెప్పి అప్లై చేసినప్పుడు ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఇట్ కుడ్ బి రిటర్న్స్. If it is a returns, sorry, if it is a fetch one particular row from the cursor, yes, it could be returns false. రోని ఫెచ్ చేస్తే ఫాల్స్ చేస్తుంది, రోని ఫెచ్ చేయలేకపోయినట్టయితే. సో let me write a clear sentence. If fetch is success, then false, comma true otherwise. True otherwise. Fetch success అయితేనేమో ఫాల్స్, లేకపోతేనేమో ట్రూ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో ట్రూ అదర్వైజ్. ఇక్కడ దీనికి క్వైట్ ఆపోజిట్. ఇఫ్ fetch is success, then true, comma false otherwise. ఓకేనా? ఫెచ్ సక్సెస్ అయితేనేమో ట్రూ వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ పర్సంటైల్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ లో, పర్సంటైల్ ఫౌండ్ లో ఫెచ్ సక్సెస్ అయితే ట్రూ అవుతుంది, అదర్వైజ్ ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది. కానీ ఇది దేంట్లో అప్లై చేయాలి? హౌ యూ కెన్ ఆపరేట్ దిస్ వన్ హియర్ ఇన్ ద సెన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఆపరేట్ విత్ ఎగ్జిట్ వెన్ అనే ఈ పర్టికులర్ కండిషన్ తోటి అప్లై చేయాల్సి. ఓకే, let us do one particular problem. Let us do a small problem, then you could understand very easily. Let us do a problem, then you could understand very easily. So however, before going, because time is very less, tomorrow I shall continue the problem. But ikkada row type tarvata lekapothe individual type ani cheppistundi. So daniki sambandhinchi maatladtam. So there is another variable, cursor variable here. That variable is called as percentile type. Percentile type. రెండవది వచ్చేసి పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్. సెకండ్ వన్ ఇస్ పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్. Percentile type will be always created or always defined on individual variables. So individual variable data type from a table. టేబుల్లో ఒక పర్టికులర్ కాలమ్ కి సంబంధించిన డేటా టైప్ ని స్ట్రైట్ అవే తీసుకొచ్చి అటాచ్ చేయడం కోసం పర్సంటైల్ టైప్ అని వాడతారు. పర్సంటైల్ టైప్ విల్ బి యూజ్డ్ టు క్రియేట్ ఆర్ డిఫైన్డ్ ఇండివిజువల్ వేరియబుల్ డేటా టైప్ ఫ్రమ్ ది టేబుల్. ఓకే, ఫ్రమ్ ఏ కాలమ్ ఆఫ్ టేబుల్. ఒక కాలంలో సో ఈ పర్టికులర్ థింగ్ తీసుకొని అప్లై చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ అబౌట్ సో ద పర్సంటైల్ టైప్. అదే పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్ తీసుకున్నట్లయితే సో ఇట్ కుడ్ బి సో క్రియేట్ ఎ పర్టికులర్ వేరియబుల్. సో defined a variable of type of type as such as table definition. Table structure ఏదో ఉంటుంది. సో tables structure definition. టేబుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఏదో ఉంటుంది, ఆ స్ట్రక్చర్ యొక్క డెఫినేషన్ ఏమైతే ఉంటుందో ఆ స్ట్రక్చర్ డెఫినేషన్ మొత్తం కూడాను పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్ కింద మాట్లాడుకుంటాం. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఇఫ్ యూ కన్సిడర్ సో దెర్ ఈస్ వన్ పర్టికులర్ టేబుల్ విత్ us in our already opened, I think. Let me close it. In our the ESC describe EMP. For example, it could be taken here. So EMP might be having employee number, so which is number of 4, employee name, which is varchar 2 of 10, something like this. It has been there. Okay. ఇప్పుడు ఎంప్లాయీ జాబ్కు సంబంధించి ఏమి డిఫైన్ చేశారో నాకు తెలియదు, ఎంత డిఫైన్ చేశారో నాకు తెలియదు. Okay, what is the data type and what is the size of that particular data type, I don't know. Then immediately you have to define something like this. How you could define here in our variable. So temporary job, you have to create a particular variable temporary job. ఎలా డిఫైన్ చేస్తున్నారంటే ఈఎంపీ అని ఒక టేబుల్ ఉంది, దాంట్లో జాబ్ అని చెప్పేసి ఇంకొక కాలం నేమ్ ఉంది, దానికి ఏమి డిఫైన్ చేశారో అదే టైప్ ని ఇక్కడ డిఫైన్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, అదే టైప్ ని. సో ఇక్కడ గమనించండి. సో టేబుల్ నేమ్ డాట్ సో కాలం నేమ్ పర్సంటైల్ టైప్. ఈ టేబుల్లోని ఈ కాలం ఏమి డిఫైన్ చేసిందో, ఏ డేటా టైప్ డిఫైన్ చేసిందో సేమ్ యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అదే డేటా టైప్ ని సో ఈ టెంపరరీ జాబ్ అని ఈ వేరియబుల్ కి అసైన్ అవుతుంది. అలా కాకుండా ఇఫ్ యూ టేక్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్, సో టెంపరరీ ఈఎంపీ స్ట్రక్చర్ మొత్తం కావాలంటే ఈఎంపీ పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్, రో టీవైపీఈ. ఒక్కొక్క రోకి ఏ కాలమ్స్ డిఫైన్ చేస్తున్నాయి, వాటి యొక్క కాలం డెఫినేషన్స్ ఏంటి, అవన్నీ కూడా డిఫైన్ చేయాలంటే రో టైప్ ని తీసుకుంటాం. ఓకే, టుమారో షల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ బికాస్ ద టైమ్ ఈస్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఆల్ గెట్స్ ఓవర్. Let me take attendance first, then I will continue. Let me take the attendance first, then I will continue. Okay. సో టేబుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్ కి సంబంధించి కంప్లీట్ గా ఆ వేరియబుల్ డెఫినేషన్ ఉండాలంటే ఈ టైప్ లో వాడాల్సి ఉంటుంది. సో టేబుల్లో ఉన్న ఒక పర్టికులర్ కాలం టైప్ మాత్రమే, డేటా టైప్ మాత్రమే ఎండార్స్ అవ్వాలి అంటే అసైన్ చేయాలి అంటే ఈ టైప్ లో డిఫైన్ చేయాలి. ఈ రెండింటిని వాడుకొని మనకి కావాల్సిన ఆపరేషన్స్ మొత్తం కూడాను పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తాం. సో కర్సర్స్ లో చేసే ఆపరేషన్స్. సో కర్సర్ కావాలి అంటే మనకి సో డిక్లరేషన్, ఓపెన్ అండ్ ఫెచ్ డేటా అండ్ క్లోజ్, వీటన్నిటిని కావాలి. తర్వాత కర్సర్ యొక్క స్టేటస్ ని తెలుసుకోవడం కోసం పర్సంటైల్ ఫౌండ్, పర్సంటైల్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్, ఈ రెండిట్లో ఏదో ఒకటి వాడుకుంటాం. అలాగే కర్సర్స్ ద్వారా వచ్చిన డేటాని ప్రాసెస్ చేయడం కోసం పర్సంటైల్ టైప్, పర్సంటైల్ రో టైప్ అనే ఈ రెండు వీటితోటి మనకు కావాల్సిన ఆపరేషన్స్ ని పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. సో కర్సర్ కావాలి అంటే, కర్సర్ నేర్చుకోవాలి అంటే ఈ మొత్తం కూడా మనకి మైండ్ లో ఉండాలి. Okay, so tomorrow class I shall give you one cursor completely, then followed by trigger. Cursor is somewhat trigger is absolutely better than the cursor. Cursor అయితే యూజర్ ఇంట్రోవర్షన్ లేకుండా మనకి ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ జరగదు. అదే ట్రిగ్గర్ అయితే యూజర్ ఇంట్రోవర్షన్ అవసరం క్రియేట్ చేసి పక్కన పడేస్తే చాలు. ఇఫ్ యూ క్రియేట్ అండ్ you can omit it, then it could be always taken into consideration to execute. Okay, when so DML operation will be fired, obviously trigger will be gets executed. So that is the difference between the cursor and the trigger here. Okay, so tomorrow we shall continue with the same, and we shall have some kind of assignments also by tomorrow based on this. Okay, so thank you. Time is already gets over.